Hello, this is Thomas, K4SWL, and if you're new here, I like to do real-time, real-life amateur radio field activation videos, and today I'm actually starting in the shack. I've never done this before, but one of my readers, Chris, asked if I could start a park activation, like showing the entire process, meaning like from the shack, scheduling, doing everything, getting things together, and then going out and actually doing the activation. And I thought I'd try to do that today. I've got a little time this afternoon in between errands. I've got to pick up groceries, go by the post office, and do some other things. So I've got enough time to do an activation. Thing is, like, see, today it's about 38 degrees, so I don't know, 2 or 3 degrees Celsius, and it's really foggy and rainy up here at our altitude, and the temperatures are dropping really quickly. We've got a cold front moving through, and the temperatures will be well below freezing. I think down to about a negative 11 degrees Celsius. So like, I don't know, 15 or so degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not good with those conversions, but I want to go out today and just do an activation anyway. And so I thought I'd show my process here. First of all, I just noticed that there's a park. I've got the POTA.app site up, so POTA.app. Let me see if I can show this here. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this on the video. I've never tried this before. The shack is very messy right now too, and I'm sorry for that. But I see that someone is on 10116 W2NR, who I've worked a bunch. I may hunt him really quickly if I can hear him. The conditions today are really weird. I've got this. Anyway, I can't help but hunt if I'm sitting here in front of the shack here. So let's see. Kind of weak. Kind of weak. I'm going to move off frequency here a little bit and just tune up, make sure I'm tuned up. There I am. Okay, let's try. We're going to try to work him real quick. I did not plan to do this, but this is also what I do, during the day when I'm working and stuff. Sometimes I'll have the KX3, or actually over on this side, where right now I've got a bunch of, I'm doing some work here. I'm actually doing some soldering. I'm working on a project. Normally I have over here on this side another radio that I'm reviewing set up. But my KX3 is actually hooked up to, I've got a KXPA amp up here, but I never really run the amp. Well, it runs through the amp, but usually I don't run more than 5 or 10 watts of power, so I don't need the amplifier for anything. we go. Okay, so now I've got that little bit of hunting out of the way. I can continue on with this video. So what I'm going to do here is show and I'm going to try to ignore the other spots right now so I can do the video. But basically, I go here to the POTA spots page, and from here, when I want to schedule, first of all, I need to figure out where I'm going. And so I like to use the map view. I kind of like the map view on here. Sorry. I always kind of block things on my side. I hate pop-ups. Here we go. And so I'll go down here to North Carolina, where I am located. Click on that. And that brings up a map that usually centers like sort of in the middle of North Carolina. Let me see if I can get this to be a little clearer. I'm hoping you can see this okay. And if I look here carefully, so I'm located in the Asheville area. And now the map is kind of, it's accurate, but it doesn't tell everything, to be honest. So in the Asheville area, there's a park here that's downtown, which is the Thomas Wolfe Memorial State Historic. So I actually need to activate that. But it's a really tricky one. It's wedged in between a bunch of buildings. It's in a very urban setting. And I actually need to get permission in advance and that sort of thing to do that one. But I may do kind of sometimes I need to go there and do kind of a stealthy one on their property, you know, with their permission, and just use the AX1 antenna or something. Then there is, of course, there's the Blue Ridge Parkway. And this is where the map doesn't really do this a lot of justice, because the Blue Ridge Parkway only shows up as one yellow dot. And I'm not even sure where that is on here, but it runs all the way through Asheville, like this way. So it's, you know, there are a lot of points along here I could be activating. There's also Pisgah National Forest and Pisgah Game Land that are here. And I think maybe if I click on this, yeah, that's Mount Mitchell State Park, and this is Pisgah National Forest, and the game land doesn't show up. The game land's vast. It's huge out here, and it shows up as one point. So in fact, I think it even shows up here near Lake Norman. But the one I'm thinking about doing today is the Zebulon Vance birthplace, which is K6856. And it's not too far out of my route here today. I'm going to be in this area. And so it's a little bit of a detour. That's probably 20 minutes out there and then 20 minutes back. But it's a pretty pleasant drive. It's usually not too busy. So I think that's probably what I'll do today. Normally, when I go this way, I actually come up from this side and take the parkway up to Zebulon Vance. But I know that won't be really a possibility today because we're expecting snow and stuff. So I'm pretty sure the Blue Ridge Parkway will be closed down. I could always go to the Blue Ridge Parkway, but I've done that one so much lately, I just want to shake it up and do something different. So what I'll plan to do is activate Zebulon Vance. So that's K6856. Now, what I tend to do, now if I can show this very easily or not, let's see. Here we go. What I tend to do is when I'm in the shack, if I can remember. Oh, yeah, let's see. I'll just get I guess it's got some blank space in it, doesn't it? Yes, good. So while I'm in the shack, I will note hang on one second, where did I put my stapler pen I just had out? This is, yes, even when I do this, it's real time, real life, meaning I have not, it's totally unscripted. It's just the way I do things. So let's see here, I'll just carry this pen in here today and maybe just log with the pen. Here we go. So what I do is in my logbook, I'll go ahead and put in the park number, because that's the one thing, if you don't have access to the internet when you get to your destination, that may be a hard thing to figure out, in case you need to know it. So it's K6856. And I put today's date, which is January, what is today? It's January, it's the 20th of January, so January 2022. And then I'll put like here, Zebulon Vance. And then now I've got to do a little plotting and planning. So let's go back up here to the screen, and I hope you can see this stuff. Here we go. So now what I want to do is schedule. an activation. And if you can see here on this corner of the screen, you can see that I'm logged in. It has my call sign, K4SWL. And so what I'll do is, since I'm logged in, if you're not logged in, then you have to log in and make sure that if you're new to POTA, then of course you need to set up an account, and there's the description of how to do that on the Parks on the Air website. But you got to make sure that this is showing up. If it's not, you won't be able to do a scheduled activation. So what I'll do is click on here where it says Add Activation, and then it pre-populates my call sign for K4SWL. Now I'll put in the reference, which is K6856. And whoops, it's K-6856. Okay, I don't know why I was doing that. Start date will be today's date, so I just click on the 20th. Start time. Now this is something you need to make sure you get right. This is in UTC time, so it's not local time. And so let me think here for a second. The earliest possible time I could be out there would be 2 p.m. my time, which is 1400 hours. So add 5 hours to that. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I'll put in 1900 hours as the start time. And, 1901. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. You just want to make sure it's slightly before you plan to be there. And then I pick the same date again, January 20th, and now the end time. So I'll just add, I think the latest possible time I could be there would be 4 hours later than this. So 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I'll just put in 2300. Well, that's probably an extreme. But here's the thing with doing these scheduled activations is you really, it doesn't really matter what you put in here. It just gives the system an indication of when you'll be at the park and when to look on the reverse beacon network to find you. So if you're a CW operator, this is a very crucial step in setting up an activation. Because if you go to a site and it doesn't have internet access that day, then you have an opportunity to be spotted by the reverse beacon network, which I rely on even when I have internet access. It's just so much easier. So if you put all this information here, it has a spot in here for frequency and a spot for comments. I'm not going to put anything in there right now. Sometimes I'll put in there if I'm planning to operate single sideband and CW or something like that. I'll put that in there. But I'm not going to do that today. I'll just leave it free here. Sometimes people will put in the comment section, hey, these are rough times. I don't know when I'll be there exactly. Thank you for the spots. But the very honest truth about this is scheduling is super important if you're a CW activator. If you're an SSB activator, you should also do this. For sure, you should do it. And I think you should do it if you're digital. But with single sideband, you get none of that reverse beacon network functionality. And frankly, I find people don't even look at the schedule. They just kind of look at the spots page. So before, I've activated super rare parks, and I scheduled it, and it was SSB, and no one ever found me because I don't think anybody ever checks this. But it's an important step anyway, and it's a good way for people to know where you are. So I click Save. And this is something that it does frequently. Unauthorized, not authenticated. So what I have to do is actually go back in here and log out. I don't know why the system does this sometimes. And then go back and sign in. And I'm going to continue with my login here, and I do it through Google, so it's kind of quick. You may have seen my daughter's information in there because she actually is also registered with POTA because she does POTA contacts sometimes. So now we go back in here, we'll do the add an activation again, put the reference in. It should take this time, usually it does. And start date is the 20th, start time is, what did I say, 1900 hours? And the end time is 2300. And click save. And if you're paranoid, which I am, I almost always do this. I'm paranoid because of what you saw there where it says not authenticated. Before I've gone out and it didn't take my activation because it took it like maybe 30 seconds to show me that dialog box, and I'd already logged out. and was on my way, and so it never actually made it as a scheduled activation. So what I'll sometimes do to check is I'll click on activations on this side. Now it shows everybody who scheduled an activation. And really, if you're a really good hunter, then you check this sometimes to see where it is. So now it shows here, yeah, K4SW well at K6856, which is correct. And it says no frequency information, but it gives the times that I'll be there. And this, you'll know it's yours because it'll be there's a little thing here that says remove. So if you decide to change your mind about it, or if you have multiple scheduled activations and you've completed one, you can always go in on your mobile phone or whatever and delete the ones that are no longer valid if you really want to. But now I know I'm scheduled and I know which park I'm going to. So next I just need to assemble my gear, and I think I'll do that outside. I've got to decide what radio I want to use today. And I have actually, I mean, to be honest, I've been working on this buddy board project for the 816, the FT817, 818, and this little board that goes on top of it. So I actually have the 817 out, and I have not taken it out for a while, and I would love to do it. So I think I'm going to take my Yaesu FT817, which means I don't have a dedicated field kit for it, so I will end up you know, putting together a kit, and I think I'll just do that outside. So I'll show you how I do that here for a second. But you know what? Look one more time at the spots. I can't help it. If I can, I try to work people if they're available out here. Let's see if there are any CW people, because I don't have the mic hooked up to this right now. Okay, 30. Let's go back to 7032. Let's see where W9AIL is. See what ooh, he's kind of weak. I may not be able to hear him. Yeah, very, very weak. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to stop here right now because he is so weak. I will not be able to make that work out easily without some persistence or turning up the power. I think I'm just running 10 watts right now. I could turn it up to 100 watts and probably get it, but I want to get started on my activation. I need to do that right now. So let's put together all the gear. Okay, I'm back here, and between the shack and here, I changed my mind about my radio. I decided I really want to try to do a little single sideband on this particular activation. I may start out CW, but I think I'm going to move to sideband. And I brought with me instead, I think I've decided to take the 705. My ICOM 705 has voice memory keying, which comes in really handy when you're doing single sideband. So I think I'm going to bring the 705 with me today instead of the 817. I'll take the 817 out next time. I've already got it kind of locked and loaded. This is my new 705 case. I have a way that I pack it in my backpack, but for things like Parks on the Air activations, I'm quite happy using this Pelican case. I bought this, I think I made a post about this months ago. And believe it or not, I only recently cut out the foam, the pick foam, and got it ready. Still haven't done some of the preparations I plan to do to this. I'm just checking and make sure I like this. I may make room here for a battery, either a spare battery that packs on the or attaches onto the back of this, or a lithium iron phosphate battery or something. But speaking of that, though, I have to also pack. Sorry, I know the camera's shaking here. I'm gonna take an extra battery. I've got the power cord in here, but I'm going to take this in case I decide to do 10 watts single sideband. And I've got an antenna tuner in here, the MAT Plus, but I haven't charged that thing in months, and I don't have time to mess with it right now. So this little bag has my T1 antenna tuner in it, along with the cable to connect the two. So I'll need that for this anyway. So I'm going to take this along, and that way I've got a spare ATU if I need it, because I'm taking the Chameleon impasse light. And the reason I'm doing that is it's rainy and wet today. I don't feel like connecting up a wire antenna today because it'll be really, really, really muddy and mucky out there. So I'm not doing it. I'll just do this. That's the great thing about the impasse light. It's so easy to put up in pretty much any conditions. So I've got the spike here, the telescoping rod, and the, I can't remember if this is called the hybrid mini or hybrid micro or something. But anyway, it's needed for the impasse light. Also, my counterpoise. Now, I've got this little cable that I'll use to connect up, but I've also brought along, since this is a car trip and not a hiking trip like a soda thing, I'm going to take along an extra cable. I take along extra sometimes and throw them in the car if I've got the time to do that. I also have extra things I'm bringing with me that I'll pack in my soda pack that I've got off to the side over here. This is my logbook. I'm taking this extra battery pack, and the reason why is that I suspect this is going to be a super long video, and my camera's battery probably won't last that long, so I'm going to take this so I can plug it in. And then this is actually some of my camera stuff. This is my little Joby tripod I use when I've just got it on a table or something. And then actually put the camera itself, my Osmo Action camera, in this Dyneema, I think that's what they call it, Dyneema bag. Super, super strong, super lightweight bag. I usually wrap it up in this Bengali cloth, actually, I use for my key. And it keeps it nice and clean in there. So I'll put that back in my bag. Also, I've got my coffee kit with me in my bag, so I brought extra water, because I'm pretty sure this is going to be a coffee or tea day. I'm not sure which yet. And I'll take my extra mug. This is my insulated mug, so it'll actually keep it hot for a long time. And I think that's it. I think that's all I'm taking. It looks like a lot of stuff, but it takes me longer to explain this stuff than just throw it in a bag and go. And like I said, when I'm doing a sort of a car activation where I'm driving up to a spot and then just taking everything out and putting it on a picnic table, it's easy enough to set this up. So it shouldn't be a big deal. Sorry, you're hearing a lot of water noise out here right now because it's just above freezing and our snow is sort of melting out here, and it'll freeze again tonight. The roads tomorrow should be pretty darn slippery, which is one of the reasons I just want to go ahead and do an activation now while I can. I don't know if I'll get a chance this weekend. So anyway, okay, now let's head out to the field. I got a couple errands to run on the way, and we'll just hope that when we get to Zebulon Vance, they only have one really good site, and that is a covered picnic area. I'm hoping that today's not the day that everybody decides to be there. It is not the sort of weather conditions people would normally want to go out and, you know, hang out outdoors. Just us park activators. Okay. Okay, I've got errand number 1 done. Made it to the post office. Picked up everything I needed. Now I am off to Zebulon Vance, which is probably about a 30-minute drive from here. Maybe a little less than that, I'm not sure. Anyway, let's hit the road. Okay, and I'm coming up here to my very first exit. I've been on Interstate 40. And hopefully you can hear me okay. And hopefully camera doesn't fall off the dashboard. But yeah, it's kind of a dreary day. You can tell when you're out, and my car thermometer is showing 39 degrees right now. So, you know, maybe it won't be too bad out there. It is kind of one of those dank, kind of cold days. So I'll be wearing my gloves. I can tell you that now. Plus the temperature is dropping down here even. I've noticed it was dropping up at my house, and we're at a higher altitude, so sometimes things are just weird. There may be a little bit of inversion, so maybe it's, who knows where the warm layers are and the cold layers. So yeah, I've got probably about 20 more minutes of driving to do, and with any luck, I'll have use of the site. I am a little concerned that maybe the park isn't open today or something. I'd hate it if I got there and their gates were closed. And if that happens, I can do a plan 2, because I can probably go out to Pisgah National Forest. I don't want to do that though, because it's going to be
after all this snow melt, it's going to be super, super muddy where I'd plan to go, and I'd rather not do that if I can help it, especially now with the 705. But actually, I didn't just bring the 705. I also brought another little, my MTR 3B, so I could totally do a field activation if I wanted to, like that. Okay, we're coming into Asheville now. I don't know if you can see anything or not on here. It's kind of, I should really keep the windshield nice and cleaned off for you, but the town of Asheville is off to the left, the bulk of it, downtown Asheville. I don't know if you'll be able to see anything or not. And then we'll exit off here and head on I-26 north, or future I-26. I don't know if they actually call it I-26 yet or not. Asheville, this particular road that we're going on has been, people have been wanting to develop it for ages and improve it, but the intersection near Asheville, where they have to merge all these lanes, it's just so complicated, it's nearly impossible for them to do it. So the project just keeps hanging out there. It's been out there for probably 15 years or something. But if you've never been to Asheville, North Carolina, you need to make a point to come here. It is a beautiful town, very artsy, very nice. We like living here, even though it's pretty congested these days. Okay, so now we're about to exit off of I-26 and head to the Vance Memorial, or Vance birthplace. This is like the most exciting part of the trip right here. Meaning, it's not a terribly exciting trip, but it would have been a lot prettier had I been able to do this on the Blue Ridge Parkway. And there probably wouldn't have been hardly anyone on it today if it was open. Vance is actually really easy to get to, but it's kind of off. Yeah, you can see here on the sign, Vance State Historic Site. Okay, I guess that person's not really turning right. Okay, here we go. Hazel is in the back seat right now, looking over my shoulder actually. I can see her in the rearview mirror. She definitely wanted to come with me today, but I hope she doesn't regret it, because it's kind of a chilly day, and then the floor down there is kind of a concrete slab, but she always makes do anyway. I worry about her too much. She's been playing out in the snow at the house with my daughters while they've been out doing things. They sled and do things, and Hazel wants to go out and play, and so she goes and runs around in the yard, has a good time. Oh, I'm so grateful that school bus is turning off. But it does remind me, it is time for school to end today. If kids are even in school, I'm not sure if the classes were canceled, which means that I could get stuck behind a school bus, and that on rural roads like this can add 15 minutes to your drive. It really can, as they stop along the way. So I'm going to turn right here. You can see the historic marker actually for Zebulon Vance. He was the North Carolina governor back in the Civil War era. And Vance's birthplace is on this road, which is Reems Creek Road. Now we're coming up to Vance here very soon. Here we go. You can see their fence. And now I always look over here and see if anyone is at the picnic shelter, and no one is there. Yay! Okay, good. So now let's just hope the gate's open. That's the next thing. And the gate is open. Oh goodness, this is great. Okay, cool. And the visitor center's open, so it means they're in full operation right now, which is great. Now, what I may do is unload and then move my car, because technically there's no parking over here. I don't mind parking here when the site is closed, but I won't do that while the side is open. So I'm gonna turn this off, get parked here, and we'll just get set up.
Okay, so we're here on site right now, and just brought my stuff out here. Again, I'm bringing a lot more than I normally do for an activation. Usually you'll just see me with one backpack, but hey, today I've got more in store. So before I even set up the radio, I want to go ahead and get my water boiling for my coffee. This is what I normally do when I want coffee. Now, here's the great thing about setting up the impasse light. It's just so super simple. Basically, I just have these three parts put together. So I plug in the whip on here. And you know, I have decided I'm going to place this a little further away. Since I'll use this. Since I brought this out here, I didn't even think about it. I just grabbed it and brought it out when I brought it out from the car. So I'll use it. And then typically I attach the counterpoise before I actually take it and plunge it into the ground. I just need to grab that. Here we go. Let's attach it onto the bottom. I can tell you, it may be a struggle today. I noticed today while I was hunting how poorly the propagation was holding up. I should have checked with my buddy Mike, K8RAT, before I left. But I gave them very little notice. I did kind of send a little message to them, letting them know I'd be out here. You should always do that. If you have like a POTA or soda buddy that you can contact, let them know that you're going to be out and about. I always do it with soda if I'm going on a long hike, but with Parks on the Air I always do it just so someone can spot me. But anyway, let's get this thing in the ground. Let me put it right here. So that should do it. Let's hook up the cable to it now. And I'll try not to coil up this cable too much. This is way longer than I need. I think this is 50 feet long. Way, way longer than I need, but it'll do the trick. There we go. Okay, let's see. I should take this off to the side and bring it around. There we go. I'll put this over here off to the side. Try to set up some of my radio stuff now. I'm not used to using a case like this. It feels so fancy. There we go. This is Kuju coffee. Supposedly it's a really good coffee, I've heard. But that remains to be seen. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to see how that works out. And this is for the RF in. This is for the antenna. Then I'll have to... You know what? It's charging, so I did plug in the battery. What am I thinking? I'll just undo this right now. There we go. Let me get my little connector cable for the ATU. I'm going to be getting... Oh, what am I doing? Doing too much at once here, Thomas. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Plug this in here. This is definitely not the neatest job I have ever done, but it's good enough. Let's see where I can get in here. And then I'll put on my gloves. Okay, this is interesting. Interesting. Okay, so you pull it out this way. This is really interesting. Okay, let's see what you do. You open this like this. You pull this out and hope you don't dump your grounds out when you do it. And it should hold up, right? Makes me a little nervous. I've got to say that makes me a little nervous, but we'll see if it works. This is a test. These are not cheap. I think this is almost $2 or $3 for this one. So actually, I'll pause it real quick and reposition Hazel here, and then we'll go ahead and make our coffee and get on the air. Okay, so I've got my water here. I very carefully pour it into this filter. I'm a little concerned that this thing could just drop straight into the coffee and really quickly give me cowboy coffee. What I'm going to do actually is reposition everything and just kind of get a better station set up right now, so I've got the camera in a good position to so you can watch me log, and then we'll be on the air. Okay, so my coffee is brewed and I am ready to play radio. Oh, I better grab my gloves. It's a little bit chilly out here today. Again, half of it's just being sedentary. You know, when you're sitting down, CW, I guess, has some physical aspect to it, but I'm here to tell you that you get cold when you're just sitting around. And here we go. Then I'll need to make sure my logs are ready, which I think I already prepared before I left, didn't I? You were there, do you remember? Yes, I did. Excellent. Use a pen today, maybe you'll be able to see that pretty clearly. Oh yeah, gotta plug in my, oh, my key is plugged in. I tried to reposition things so they weren't so messy. There we go. You have a little bit better view of everything. Here is hammers. And do a new logbook. Let's move down to 72. See if anybody's down there. That may be where we go. There we go. Okay. So put in K for SWL dash K 6856. Gotta make sure you get that correct. You know, I don't know if that's supposed to be a capital K or not. I'm gonna make it a capital K. Okay, dash 202201, and it's the 20th, so 20. And make this Parks on the Air. Click Save. Then I have to set up the Parks on the Air thing. So we're going to start on the 40 meter band. CW. Power output's 5. I don't really need to put this in here because I'll change it later, probably, if I do single side band. K 6856. There we go. And now we're ready to go. And I'll probably log this off to the side here. So let's put in here on our paper logs. Let's see, let's see, 40 meters, CW. These are going to be messy logs, I can tell you now. 20 hours. There we go. Okay. Let's hope my keying improves today. Okay, now I'll go in here to the keyer. And I'll have this do some automatic keying for me. Again, after I do 10 contacts, I'm happy to move up. When I go up to single sideband, I'll probably move it up to 10 watts output. Let's see how good this coffee is. You know what? Take the lid off this thing. Coffee's not bad. It's like pour over portable coffee, but it seems to do a pretty, it tastes pretty good. I think I still prefer just grinding my own and bring it out here and using my own little pour over filter. My hands look so rough, I'm sorry. These are working hands right now. I'm doing firewood and all kinds of stuff. I was hoping the conditions would be decent today. I can probably spot myself. I probably have enough. Good to always have K3ES in here. I think it's kg. Actually, it's about a 5 by 5 9.
pinching my key as I'm using it. That's one of the problems. Georgia. Sorry, these are not the best logs. For all you people that like to see everything filled in, I'll go ahead and put this in here. That was very smart of him. See, he's a little off frequency, so he sounds different than everyone else. It's easier to hear him and pick him out. N3XLS is a big time hunter, so he knows what he's doing. Okay. And D4K, not X.
Okay. I just missed that last character for some reason while I was looking. That's what I thought. Okay. Sorry for my sloppy handwriting. This is what happens when I'm wearing gloves. Or writing in general. Okay. That's who I was hearing earlier. Also in CQ POTA one more time, and I've got enough that I could probably move on to some single sideband if I wanted to. Nice. Okay. It's good to get South Carolina in there too. I can take a drink of coffee while I'm doing the auto keyer. If I can get my fingers to work. This is another one of those situations where you can feel the temperature dropping right now. There we go.
we go. Ooh, he just disappeared. Got him. Mike, you're... Okay. Come on, Pin. Come on, hands. I'm confused. I keep hearing an L in there. Okay, I'm gonna move. Right. Oh, there we go. Yes, yes, yes. I know who that is. We're both weak. Okay. Let me try him again. This other person can't hear me. Okay. Whoa, that's loud. There we go. We'll turn that down again. Okay. Let's move over to single sideband. That was pretty active. Let's see, I got 18 Qs. That's not too bad. Now I need to go in here and actually change this to single sideband, and I'll move my power up to 10 watts. Now, marking the wattage makes no difference at all. Really doesn't. Now, you will see I'll struggle to keep up with logging right now with single sideband. I don't know why, but it's more work for my hands or something, oddly enough. Okay, let's see, we're 68.56. Okay, 68. It's always tougher to find a frequency and when you're doing single sideband than it is CW. Here we go. There we go. Now we're going to pump up the power here a little bit. This should take us up to 10 watts. And then I need to come out of this, go back to the scope. And this is the cool thing about having a scope in the field, I will admit. I kind of poo-poo scopes because I don't really need them that much. But when you're looking for a clear spot, it kind of helps you just find one. What I'm trying to do, I don't like going to 19. I can hear someone right below me, and that may, looks like if I go up about 40 to 72.58, maybe that'll be nice. Okay, I need to plug in my microphone before I go too far here. Let's grab that. Now, on the 705, I never plug in the full mic. I just plug in. Okay, let's see here. I didn't do that correctly. This is the toughest part here, actually. Okay, that's the speaker. This is the mic. That's right. Doing this with gloves on, this is my biggest gripe with the 705, is this is not easy for people with big fingers to get in behind this thing. Ah, I just got my gloves caught in it, in fact. There we go. Yeah, I'm working now. Now we're cooking. Let's see here. I'm catching a little somebody off the back here. But if I move up to an even frequency, like too close to an even frequency, there's a decent chance someone's going to pop up there on 72.60, and that worries me a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and tune real quick. There we go. That was quick. Okay, now I go to voice memory keyer. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. Now wait a minute, why am I not seeing any RF out when I'm doing that? Let's go back over here to the scope. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. Yeah, I see why. Okay. This should be working, so let's go ahead and put the keyer on and have the voice memory. So now it is sending CQ while I spot myself on the POTA network, which hopefully that'll work. Okay, let's see here. Let me hop onto POTA.app. Now, hopefully pulling this up. And hopefully it'll sign me in. Yes, it did. Now I'm going to spot myself, respot, and then I'll put
7259 as my frequency, and then I'll put SSB in the comments, and I think that it'll automatically spot me as SSB. So yay, that worked. Good. Okay, cool. Now you'll see me do the struggle to try to keep track of everything here while I'm logging with SSB. I don't know why, but I think because I'm using my voice now. Normally, like if I were using my Elecraft KX2 or KX3, I'd wear my boom headset, but you wouldn't be able to hear the audio if I did that. So here we go. So the most important part is I know what my park number is, because you do give that in single sideband. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling. CQ for parks on the air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling. CQ for parks on the air. You know what I may do, actually, when I'm thinking about it? I'm going to record this. Now get back here.
Whiskey Alpha 4, Whiskey Papa Golf.
Whiskey Alpha 4, Whiskey Papa Golf. Hey, you're strong, about a 5x9 here at park number 6856. QSL?
QSL, you're 5'9", Victor Alpha. I love that call. I like that call a lot, sir. 73, my friend.
Hey, 7-3s, I'm glad you like it. I really love shortwave radio, so that works out for me pretty well. Hey, 7-3s, my friend, have yourself a wonderful day. QRZ, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling. CQ for parks on the air.
Have fun out there, 73, my friend.
7-3s. QRZ, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima for parks on the air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling. CQ for parks on the air.
Kilo Delta 2, Hotel Tango Golf.
The Kilo Delta 2 station, go ahead.
Kilo Delta 2, Hotel Tango Golf, 33, November Yankee, QSL.
Roger on that. Kilo Delta 2, Hotel Tango Golf. You're about a 5x5 here at Park 6856. Hey, 7-3s, my friend, have yourself a wonderful day.
Thank you for your activation.
Thank you, sir. And QRZ, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling. CQ for parks on the air.
Kilo Juliet 4, Echo Juliet Mike.
Okay, Kilo Juliet 4, go ahead.
Kilo Juliet 4, Echo Juliet Mike. I'll set you 5-5, Central North Carolina, outside of Raleigh.
Roger. Kilo Juliet 4, Echo Juliet Mike. Yeah, you sounded good there from Central Raleigh area, or Central North Carolina area. And it's chilly up here in the mountains, but it's a nice day. It's kind of foggy and just cool, but a great day for playing POTA. You're about a 5x7 here at Park 6856. QSL?
QSL, Thomas, thank you for the 5-7. Have fun and be safe.
Thank you, sir. Have yourself a wonderful day. And QRZ, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air.
Zero by 8, Romeo, Alpha, Uniform, November.
Kilo 8 Romeo Alpha Tango. Mike, man, you sounded great. You're about a 5x7. A lot of QS Baker today. QSL? Kilo 8 Romeo Alpha Tango. Kilo 8 Romeo Alpha Tango. You're 5x7. QSL? Just as I suspected, a lot of QRMs moving in on me here. Kilo 8 Romeo Alpha Tango. Kilo 8 Romeo Alpha Tango. You are 5x7. QSL? Mike, Kilo 8 Romeo Alpha Tango. Kilo 8 Romeo Alpha Tango. 5x7. QSL? Got it.
You're 5-5 Ohio. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Mike. Yeah, a lot of QS Baker today. Hey, 7-3s, and have yourself a wonderful day. QRZ, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air.
Alpha Delta 8, Echo Victor.
Alpha Delta 8, Echo Victor. Mike, I don't think I've ever worked you both CW and single sideband in one session here. You're sounding great, about a 5x8. Great audio here at Park 6856. QSL?
QSL, Thomas, you're about 5252 Northwest Ohio here. QSB's bad on my end.
Roger, Roger. Yeah, the bands are kind of rough today, and QS Baker's been hitting me here as well. Hey, thank you so much for hunting me today, and have yourself a wonderful day there. QRZ, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. I'll put my time down here. I don't really have to keep track of time. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. I don't really have to keep track of it because I've also got it here on my electronic logs on the side, plus I've got a video of the whole thing as well. Yeah, I'm getting kind of weak audio reports. Not too surprised about that today. The conditions are not that great. The fact that Mike was pretty audible, like 5x7, and then went down to nothing. That's pretty telling, actually. It's getting chilly, isn't it, Hazel? Come here. She's off the side of the camera. You can't see her, but... You being a good girl? I can't believe I haven't shown her on camera yet. You know, I would right now, but this thing's set up on a tripod and it'd be hard to... Okay. Well, she's moving her head up here with me. Yeah. Good girl. See if I can turn this around so you can see her. There we go. Okay, the Delta Romeo Papa station, go ahead.
QSL, I have you at 57 into Southern Ohio, Oscar Hotel.
Roger, Roger, give me the prefix of your call sign there. I got the Delta Romeo Papa. I just heard the last of it.
This is Whiskey 8, Delta Romeo Papa. I have you at 5758 into Southern Ohio. QSL.
Roger, 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 Roger. Whiskey 8, Delta Romeo Papa, and you're about a 5x7 here at Park 6856. Hey, have a wonderful day, and 7-3s, my friend.
7-3, thank you for coming back.
Logging here on the side. QRZ, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air.
Kilo Delta 2, Yankee Alpha Echo.
Kilo Delta 2, Yankee Alpha Echo. You sound great about a 5x6 here at Park 6856. QSL?
Thank you for the 5-6. You are about a 4444 into New York, November Yankee. Back to you.
Roger, Roger, my friend. Thank you so much for the 4-4 into New York. I'll take that any day. Hey, 7-3s, my friend. Have yourself a wonderful week.
Kilo 4, Alpha Delta Quebec.
Kilo 4, Alpha Delta Quebec. You got a strong signal, about a 5x9 here at 6856. QSL?
QSL, thank you for 6856. You're already 5-5 here in Northern Virginia. 55, Victor Alpha.
Roger, Roger. Thank you very much for the report from Victor Alpha. And here's hoping you have yourself a wonderful rest of your week. And 7-3s, my friend.
73, thank you.
QRZ, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air.
Washington, America 2, Sierra Lima Hotel.
Washington, America 2, Sierra Lima Hotel. You've got a great signal, about a 5x9 here at Park 6856. QSL?
QSL, you're 5-5, Southern Indiana. QSL?
Roger, Roger. I got you for Southern Indiana. I appreciate the call out here today. Have yourself a wonderful week, and 7-3s, my friend.
73.
QRZ, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air.
Kilo 3, Echo Sierra.
Kilo 3, Echo Sierra. Great to get you on here, Brian, for what? This is like CW and SSB today. You're sounding great about a 5x9 here at Park 6856 QSL.
QSL, I have you about a 33 right at my noise floor, but still making the trip. Thanks for the activation.
Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate the contact and for both in CW and SSB today. Take care, Brian, and always good working you, 7-3s.
7-3, same here, and enjoy the rest of your activation.
Thank you, sir. QRZ, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air.
Kilo Yankee 4 Echo.
Kilo Yankee 4 Echo, you're sounding great about a 5x7 here at Park 6856 QSL. Kilo Yankee 4 Echo, Kilo Yankee 4 Echo, you're about a 5x6 QSL.
You're 5-9 into South Carolina. I lost you in the noise just then.
No worries, my friend. Yeah, the QS Baker's kind of bad today. Hey, 7-3s and enjoy the rest of your week, my friend.
73.
QRZ, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air.
November 4, Bravo, November, Oscar.
November 4, Bravo, November, Oscar. You got a great signal, 5x9 plus here at Park 6856 QSL.
Roger, Roger, you're 33, Eastern North Carolina, over.
Roger, Roger, I've got you 33 into Eastern North Carolina. I appreciate the contact today, my friend. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your week. 7-3s.
73, thanks for the park.
QRZ, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air. Just give me a chance to breathe. So we're up to 30 contacts right now. Yeah, that little coffee I've got in there is cold now, so I'm not going to drink that. But that's the reason I brought the thermal mug today. When it's really cold, my little titanium mug, it'll cool down coffee so fast you don't even get a chance to have it hot. I don't know why, but it is so much more difficult for me to manage logging when I'm doing voice, when I'm actually using a hand mic. I find it a little more difficult. That's one of the great things about having Vox. When I've got my headset, it's just not a big deal at all. I can log away and it frees up everything. It's easier than CW even in terms of logging because I got both hands. It's just not an issue. I also have a, if you haven't noticed this, if you've watched my videos before, I can't multitask doing CW and voice at the same time, so I can't talk to someone while I'm doing CW. It just doesn't work. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. I'll do this a little bit longer, and I think I'm going to move up to 20 meters. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. You hear that popping? That is an electric fence. That pop, pop, pop. That is an electric fence nearby here. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. The noise blanker will take that out probably. Let's see here. Yep, don't really hear it now. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. Okay, I'm going to QSY up to the 20 meter band in CW. This is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima, and I'm going to QSY. Sometimes in voice I can't remember what I'm supposed to say. Here we go. Okay, let's move this to... There we go. One of the weird things about the 705, I mean, it's probably intentional, but when you move to CW from SSB, it'll keep your voice memory keying up here. You actually have to kind of get out of it and go back into it to bring up the CW memory keying stuff. So I don't hear anybody here right now. Let's go over here and... I'll say this, that Matt 705 Plus tuner is super fast. It actually isn't my favorite ATU only because I can only use it with the 705, and I like, you know, equipment that I can mix and match, so that's the only negative. Okay, let's see here. So let me go ahead and start calling CQ. And with any luck, even though I've been operating single sideband, it should still spot me in CW. Okay, let's see here. Move mine. So I'm going in here and changing my meter band so this is accurate. And then I'll go over here and start 20 meters. I don't have to go here before terribly long, but I've got a little while yet. Ooh, I need to get my key. I'm gonna have a hard time sending CW without a key. We'll see how good 20 meters is. I have no clue. I knew that there would be a lot of okay. Okay, B. That's right. Okay. There we go. Oh, I can barely hear. logs are messy. He's just back there watching people walk through the old buildings. In fact, I think they're employees and they're probably starting to shut things up. I may have to leave here pretty soon. You know what? I'm going to turn off the noise. Well, no, the noise blanker. I'm going to turn off noise reduction. I don't really need that right now. Okay. Sometimes I forget I even have that on. Whoa. Okay. You know, I sent 7.2. Probably shouldn't have done that because I'm actually running QRO. I'm running 10 watts. I forgot to set it back to 5 watts, but you know, that's okay. Today, if there's a day to run a little extra wattage, probably this is it. Obviously, these are not ideal conditions today, but you know, I've logged 34 contacts. So, okay, I think I got that right. I am going to have to hop off here soon. Come here, Hazel. Okay. Okay. Okay, I got it right. My keyer is not working right. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, my keyer, the little plug was not plugged in there. Okay, Hazel. Okay, better turn this off while I can. Hazel wants to go for a walk. You can probably hear her whining in the background, so I better take her on a little walk. We've got 41 contacts, not bad. Sorry, this has been an incredibly long video. This will probably be a video, now that I've made it through this far, and it's this long, I am probably going to shorten some of the bits where I'm just like preparing things, getting my coffee and that sort of thing. I'm going to shorten it only because I really need to keep the file size as small as I can. As it is, it'll probably take this 4 or 5 days to upload on the line that I'll be using to upload this. But I'll take out all the things that don't really have to do much with the radio stuff. So I'll probably take out brewing the coffee this time, because I've done that before in the past. I'll probably take out a little bit of my driving time and do that. But it'll still be pretty darn long format. So let me pull this out of here real quick. And you can see Hazel. Come here, Hazel. She wants to go on a walk, I can tell. So I'm going to go walk her around some of the little houses and things that are over here. If you can look, you can see some of the old log cabins and stuff. I'm going to walk her around there. Good girl. She is a great companion for POTA. I wasn't necessarily going to bring her today because she looked like she was having a good time by the fire before we left, but then again, she hopped in the car pretty much, so yes. Didn't you? Didn't you? You did, because you're a good girl, right? You did because you're a good girl. Okay. I'm going to pack up all this stuff. I'm not going to do a video of that, but so I probably will never do a video quite like this again. But I did want to help this particular reader who is asking for a kind of a comprehensive look of getting everything, you know, starting out, getting going, spotting yourself, all that, you know, scheduling, spotting, all those things. So I thought I'd put it all in here and do CW and single sideband, because I think that he's a single sideband operator. So I thought I'd do all that and just kind of make it work out. But it was kind of nice trying up my Pelican case for the first time here. The 705 did a great job. Band conditions were not that great, but it did well. The impasse light, which is set up over here, did a great job as well. For what I'm doing here, it would have been a lot better if I had 2 or 3 more radials, and probably could have used the impasse 2.0 today, actually, and had maybe slightly more gain. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to get packed up, and I'm not going to include this in the video. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to comment. Always remember that below I'll have a link to the field report for this activation, and in that I usually put a lot more details and photos and all those good things. Links to everything I have here, all the gear links and product links, all those things. And so if you're interested in that stuff, and if I forget a link, let me know. You can comment on YouTube or else on QRPer.com. And I'd be happy to try to answer those questions if I can. As always, I appreciate all of my Patreon and Coffee Club supporters. That really makes a big difference when I'm going out and doing activations all the time. And a lot of those monies go into our travel fund and that sort of thing. So it's kind of all fun money and radio money for buying equipment. I just bought an SW3B, and looking forward to checking that out. And you'll see it in a future video here soon. But I appreciate it. But again, if you need that money for, you know, getting on the air yourself and putting together your own kit, don't worry about helping me. You can just help yourself. This will always be free, and it'll always be ad-free. So, hey, thank you so much for joining me today. And until next time, 7 threes.